The team met again this week. We're in, I think, great shape to submit the grant application once the period opens. They haven't released the paperwork for the grant yet. We've got tons of letters of support. We've got some very good detail. We've got some good renderings. And incredibly, I asked Randy when he thought the engineer might be out to do the survey. We needed a basic survey. I had money in my purchase of services to be able to pay for it. And he said he would follow up. Well, they showed up today and did the survey. So, and that's gonna get us extra points in the grant application for having had that done. And I don't see the survey as wasted money, because I do believe at some point this work is going to be done. The town's going to want it, whether we can, if we get the grants, terrific. If we don't, I really don't. I mean, the survey is not going to go bad, so it's going to. I think it's going to serve us well. I actually think we have a great shot at it. And just so you know, Rebecca had to highlight, or has to highlight, a price range that we think the project will come in at. So I thought the applicable range was between 500 and 750,000. So I've been thinking 5 to 6, and everything's going up every day. So I think we're in very, very good shape. So I'm excited about that. My capital plan review again tonight is meant to be a higher level overview, but just to do a check-in for an update. If we look at total amount of money that I'm recommending, that I'll be recommending, that is spent on buildings, town buildings, and the request from, well, the town buildings would be 300 and, sorry, bear with me 1 second, please. Town buildings would be $354,000. Additionally, 3 projects that the school district requested, $185,991, which totals $539,991, plus a Ford 350 for the DPW of $115,000, totaling what the current ARPA request would be is $654,991. And currently, we have for ARPA funds in excess of $1,369,000. And that's a flexible number. We're still reprogramming some money, but that's very close to what the accurate number is.
Okay.
Beyond that, I'll be recommending $248,000 in Chapter 90 money for the dump sander and the spreader dump body for the DPW. And as I've said previously, $345,000 of the stabilization fund for the new roof at the fire station. So that I've sent you an email with the first real look at it. I'm well positioned to do the 5-year plan based on establishing this. So I actually by default gave you an ARPA update at the same time, because I told you where we are, and it would look like it looks like, again, round numbers. If you want a round number, I would say if you approve at a future meeting the ARPA spending for those projects, we would have around $700,000 left in ARPA funds.
That's nice.
It is. It'll go fast, but it's nice. I don't know where we would be without the ARPA funds. We'd be in deep trouble.
Right.
So I'm very, very appreciative to the federal government for that. And I'll have for the first meeting in March 2nd, I will have the ARPA numbers updated with where I think we actually are, and also I will have the 5-year plan for you. And on March 7th, I'm presenting to the advisory committee. Also at our March 2nd meeting, not necessarily germane under this, but just so you know, you will be seeing the first draft of the warrant, or pretty much tightened up warrant.
Okay.
And then we'll have some things beyond that. Last but not least, I would like to add, it's not on my town administrator's report, but I just found out today when I picked up the Bolton Independent and read that our library director, Kelly Collins, recently celebrated 25 years as the town's library director. I was not aware of that, but I would like to congratulate Kelly for 25 years of service. That's quite an accomplishment for someone. And I just thought it needed to be recognized at a select board meeting.
Well, that's great. Just going back to your capital plan stuff, just so the audience knows, I believe we're not using any free cash for any of those purchases right now.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. This would all be an appropriation of ARPA funds or Chapter 90. So with the exception of the stabilization fund, those funds, that action can be approved by the select board.
Right.
And won't be articles at town meeting. Yes, so I didn't want to touch free cash. I thought it was important to leave free cash intact for whatever advisory feels we need to do
Right.
with the budget.
Right. No, that's great. That's great. It gives us a little bit more flexibility. So that's great. Any questions?
No, sounds good.
Okay. I guess we have a few extra minutes. You want to kind of delve into select board business?
It's fine with me.
Okay, well, any public service announcements?
No.
Okay.
Stan, could I interrupt for a quick second? I had
Sure.
reached out to Mr. Keen to let him know we were running early and he has entered the meeting. If you wanted to go back to the 7 o'clock item. Oops.
Dan, you muted yourself.
Oh, okay, well, Jenny did that, not me. If Mr. Keen is here, let's get that done. So we can let him go. So next up, we'll defer select board business. So next up is the event approval, the request from the Bolton Lions Club to hold the voluntary toll booth on Saturday, May 6, 2023, with a rain date of Saturday, May 13th, 2023, from 8:30 in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon near the Bolton Public Library. Andrew, you with us?
Yes, hello, thank you. This is an event that the Bolton Lions Club has held many years. We had a couple off during the pandemic, but we did bring it back last year. And we do this as you stated, for 4 hours, looking at Saturday, May 6th, if not May 13th for a rain date.
Yep.
We will have a police detail present the entire time we're there. And we basically play in the highway, just like our mothers told us to. We set up cones in the middle of the road.
Yep.
And signs, make our presence is very visible. Again, the police detail is there as well. And we just, it's voluntary toll booth.
Great. No, well, that's great. And yes, you guys have done this for many, many years. I'm sure that the chief is all fine with this stuff, so I have no questions. Bob, do you?
No, sounds good.
Okay, I'll take a motion to approve.
I move to approve the Lions Club voluntary toll booth on Saturday, May 6th, with a rain date of Saturday, May 13th.
I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Roll call Sikansky,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Andrew, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Yes, good luck.
See you in May.
I came in 15 minutes early. I was going to be somewhere a little quieter, but
That's great.
jumped on. Okay,
Thank you.
very much. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. All right, Don, do we have, do we need Nikki, or can we just do the release?
You are free to just vote to release.
Nikki is here.
Nope.
Okay, well, there you go. All right, so next up is the request from the Bolton Access Television for a release of $25,696.91 from the PEG cable account for Q4 operating expenses. Anything you want to highlight, Nikki, or? Great, great. Sounds good. Sounds great. So unless there's any questions, I'll take a motion to approve the release of the funds.
I move to approve the release of 25,696 and 91 cents from the cable account to the Bolton Access TV.
I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Roll call Sikansky,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thanks, Nikki.
Don't spend it in one place. Don, is Randy with us yet, or do we?
Yeah, he's here. I see him.
All right. Well, then let's just zoom right to the next one. An update and discussion on the transfer station conversion to pay-as-you-throw bag program and fee structure. Randy.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Hey, Randy, how
Hey,
are you?
Randy,
Hey, thanks for inviting me tonight. The pay-as-you-throw bag program started on February the 1st. I do want to preface it by making a correction from early representation I had. There was a misunderstanding between myself and the maker of the bags. I believe I told the board that the company would be the warehouser for the bags, and that we would order them as needed. That was my understanding, and I misunderstood. That was only if we went to a retail situation, like if we were selling it at a local store, the local store would contact them and they would deliver the bags, not the town. So we received our full order. We were able to accommodate it in storage. The staff down the transfer station has arranged it the way they feel will work best for them, and it looked pretty good when I was there yesterday. So we began selling the bags on February the 1st, and I asked the staff at the transfer station if they've had any feedback at all, positive or negative, and there has been none. Checked the compactor yesterday, and there were a few colored bags in the receptacle for the compactor. We put out a notice, as you know, through the website, through the news, about the arrival of the bags, which prompted a lot of questions with regard to the seniors program, seniors bags. And initially, my thought was to try and use up what we had for inventory for stickers to just use them up because we had already purchased them. But I think for consistency's sake and ease of the staff observing what's being thrown into the compactor, that we've converted everything over to selling of the bags.
That's great.
So at the request, I provided a summary of commodities from July through the end of January. And I have the basic tonnages for all of the materials that we collect. For instance, in municipal solid waste, which is what goes into the compactor essentially, and also the overflow, 438 tons of material was collected through the end of July. All of the tonnages are listed there. I estimated on a 12-month basis, prorated it out, extended it out. So an estimated tonnage for 7 months is 750 tons on municipal solid waste, or 1.5 million pounds. The cost to deal with all of the solid waste, and the bags are rated, the big bags are rated at 35 pounds a bag, comes out to about 42,860 bags. Our current cost of the bag is $250. So selling it 42,000 bags at $250, it's $107,000 in revenue. You see our total revenue, our total costs are $172,000. So there's a shortfall there of about $65,000. Hopefully you can follow along and you'll see that.
Yeah, no,
Did I lose you?
Nope, I haven't had a chance to really to delve into that, but obviously you've talked before that we still have a shortfall. I think we also need to look at outfits like Waste Management and what they're charging for they have a small and a large where they have so many 13-gallon bags, you know, in their trash, and a larger one. I think at least for the short term, I think we should keep the pricing the same. I think we probably need to spend a little more time looking at what we might want to increase the price to. But I think even raising the price, I've done some stuff in the past. I think we can be very competitive with folks like Waste Management, but still be able to raise the price to close in on the shortfall of you know what we're collecting and what we're spending.
I think I concur with that. I think because there was, and I don't know if it's anecdotal, but there is a belief that there may be some trash from outside of the town of Bolton coming to our transfer station that we're paying for, that would be included in that 750 annual tons.
Right.
Right. So, you know, with, you know, the improvement and the visibility and what's going into the compactor, you know, I think we'll be able to get a better handle and get some more history on it. I think it is prudent.
Yep. I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to set a time limit for when, because right now people have stickers. People who don't have any stickers are buying bags. So we have sort of this middle ground where both are being used. But I would like to see us do a hard cutoff on a particular date where after a certain date, there will be no more use of stickers. We will use bags, and I would be in favor of allowing residents, if they want to convert their existing stickers to bags, we give them that time frame to allow them to do that, so that they can remain whole. But I don't want to have an indefinite period where we allow the residents to exhaust their stickers, because it only compounds the issue for the guys at the transfer station in terms of compliance. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think we need to have by whatever date we decide, there'll be no more stickers, and it's 100% bags. And I think for the people who use the transfer station, we give them enough time when they're dumping their garbage that they can just swing by the transfer station and do a 1-for-1 swap.
Well, you know, so long as we're not selling stickers, I don't think there's any number of people who have bought more than a year's worth or 6 months worth of stickers. So I can see the appeal to doing that, but I don't know that it's going to improve things that much by having a cutoff.
Well, what I'm
You're
concerned
creating
about-
friction that you don't need to create.
Well, what I'm concerned about it is compliance and out of town folks. Because there are people in Bolton who are dumping their garbage who aren't using anything. There are people who are coming from out of town who are dumping their garbage at the transfer station. And the whole purpose of this was to allow the folks at the DPW workers at the transfer station to quickly identify from a distance who's in compliance and not. I don't think it's that great a hardship. If we give people 60 days or 90 days to use up what they have, but come on in, dump your garbage, stop by and see Eddie or Scotty and do a swap. I don't think that's such a hardship. Because if we don't, then when is the cutoff? When is it that we know for sure that people in town who are not buying anything are dumping their stuff, and the out-of-towners who are dumping their stuff? When does it end? There's gotta be some date when we know for sure that only colored bags are being used. What would you propose as an alternative? If we don't provide some hard cutoff date, whether that be May or the beginning of the new fiscal year or something.
Well, I guess, the other thing I could say is as of, I don't know, say 90 days, there's got to be some tougher inspection of the bags if you're not using the colored ones, but I don't know if that's feasible.
No, it's not. I mean, we need to make, the guys at the transfer station have had to put up with a lot. And I've been up there where they get into arguments with people who think they're above the law.
And
I have witnessed this.
I don't disagree with that. Yep, that happens.
Yes,
Yep.
and it happens a lot. So I'm really would prefer to have some definitive date that says after this date, only bags.
I just don't know how you get the word out to everyone. And my concern is that they're going to learn about this at the transfer station, which is just going to create the friction you're trying to avoid. If you've got a solution to that, then I'm fine with this.
What do you mean friction? Bob?
Well,
What's the friction?
if people don't know about this cutoff date until the cutoff date comes and they've got stickers on their bags, then it's the guys who are working there who are going to bear the brunt of the frustration.
Well, maybe we put up some big signage. And
I don't know, as the manager, Randy, how would you like to see this handled? Or how would you, what do you see as the pros and cons of either approach?
We did have a few residents purchase a quantity of stickers when they heard the bags were coming through, got approved. My gut feeling is a majority of the stickers are going to run out within 2 to 3 months. After that, there'll be, trailers. If, I hate to kick anything down kick the can down the road or anything, but, maybe, July 1st was mentioned. I mean, we can utilize the mobile solar sign that we put up where taxes due and things like that. We could, put a sign at the transfer station, swap your stickers for bags, or something like that.
Or bags only as of July 1 or something.
Or something, you can do that.
Yeah.
And
I'm fine with that.
And we can put out a number of news, bulletins off the website, things of that nature. But I mean, if you want to go with that for now, and then we can meet again, perhaps before that implementation day, and we'll have a better idea how many that we think that there really are out there that are like that.
Randy, I'm glad you said that, Randy, because when we were talking in terms of 90 days, anyway, that gets us approaching the end of May. So starting with the new fiscal year, July 1st, that's only another 30 days. And I think it would certainly dwindle down the vast majority of supply out there, and it would, I think, significantly reduce any potential friction that the folks at the transfer station may get, because I think we have a much smaller number of instances coming up. So I know it might not be quite as quick as you might like, but it might seem to be the easiest all the way around.
That's fine. I mean, I originally wanted May, 1st of May, but I'll go with, I think the 1st of July, new fiscal year.
Okay.
Gives us a little bit more time. And we publicize it, we'll get the electronic sign, and, we do a little bit of education.
All right. Sounds good.
And can I make one comment?
Sure.
So at town hall, we give out the senior allotments of $100 worth of stickers. Typically, that lasts a senior 40 weeks. And we were giving out stickers up until January 31st. So I don't agree with you that a few months is going to be enough time to deplete the majority of the stickers out there. I personally think it would take 40 weeks to fully deplete people's allotments.
How many people do you think got their seniors allotments since January 1st? Just roughly.
You mean since July 1st?
No, since January 1st.
Oh, since January 1st? Well, we started giving out bags in February 1st. So, gosh, I don't know how many got them in January. I could calculate it and give it to you, but I'm concerned that all of the stickers that we've given out since July 1st have essentially been nearly a year's worth of stickers for seniors. I mean, not quite a year's worth, but nearly a year's worth.
Then they can get those stickers swapped for bags.
Yeah, and if they got it in July or August, they'll use them up by July 1st.
By July 1st,
Of this year.
This year.
well, they didn't get them in July 1st, though. People get them on a rolling basis.
Then they can come in and they can get their.
Oh, okay, but I guess the point I was trying to make before is since January 1st, there's maybe a dozen people that,
I bet it's more than that, because there's a misconception of a lot of people that don't understand fiscal versus calendar year. So usually in January, we got a lot of people that come in thinking that the program
okay,
has just renewed.
Okay. All right, do we record who we've given those stickers to?
Yep.
All right, then we can figure out some way to get get the bags to them. And
or at least notify them in particular that.
And it can't be that many people. It
Yeah,
can't
make
be
that
that
4
many people,
months
and we'll figure out a way to bring them right to their houses.
Why don't we do a little research and report back at the next meeting of what the approximate number might be?
Yeah,
We
Okay.
can get a sense for that.
I could do that.
I'll be happy to go to every person's house and do it.
Oh, I can't wait, Stan.
It's like Santa Claus. That's right.
Don't come down the chimney, Stan, please.
No, not the chimney. No, I won't do that. No.
Okay,
So are we done for now?
I guess you're gonna defer the discussion, defer the date to the next meeting and waive whatever information that we're able to pull together.
No, I think we should set July 1st.
yeah, I'm happy with July 1st, and now we gotta decide how do we achieve that?
How do we achieve that? And what, if there are any roadblocks, how do we overcome that?
Yeah,
Well, if you're set on July 1st, then you should probably have a vote. And then at the
Okay.
next, and then at the next meeting, I guess you'll discuss what the roadblocks are and how you overcome them.
okay, so I move to, I move that it be that stickers no longer be used and it be bags only, Bolton bags only, as of July 1st, 2023 at the transfer station.
I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye,
Roll call, Sikansky,
aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy. Okay, so we've gone through your report. So next up is select board business. And I think we started that. You don't have any public announcements, Bob?
Correct.
Okay. Same for me, except with bottles and cans at the transfer station. I'm seeing deposit bottles and glass, so please separate your stuff out. Next up, future agenda item discussion. Bob?
Nothing, nothing tonight.
I do. I think we might want to have a discussion at some point in the near future with our representatives from the RAAAC subcommittee,
Okay,
Brian Boyle and Lorraine Ramasco. We have gotten what appears to be some quasi-final draft of the regional agreement. And I've had some discussions with both of those individuals. And there may be some items in that agreement that we might want to discuss further. And we might want to discuss that either before the school committee votes or the DESI votes on that. So I think that will be something that we may want to do sooner than later. So that's.
yeah, I'm gonna put it on the next agenda. Okay,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Okay. That's all I got for now. All right, next up is to call the caucus for Monday, March 6th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Bolton Public Library, 738 Main Street.
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye,
Roll call, Sikansky,
aye,
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you. And I'll have those ready for you in your folder to be signed.
Great, thank you. Next up, a brief discussion of the residence options for comparing and or switching electricity providers. I guess I asked for this, and this is just sort of born out of the fact that we had in the past a electricity aggregation subcommittee that was formed quite some time ago to look at finding an alternative for electric power supply in the town of Bolton. And apparently that's stuck at the state level. And I know that there's been a lot of chatter on Facebook and Nextdoor Bolton about people seeing their electric bills and the rather high increases in their electric services. Don, I don't know exactly how you want to go ahead with this. I mean, this is something that we're not necessarily endorsing one vendor over another, but that there are potential options that people can look at if they want to look to switch independent of this aggregation subcommittee, and if it ever gets past the state. And I also want to note, it has nothing to do with the subcommittee. It's all at state level and it's being held up by the state.
Yeah, the community aggregation plan has been languishing at DPU for over 2 years. We're one of 31 towns that have been held up. There was a major article in the Globe about it. We would need to determine where on the website would be an appropriate spot to put this type of information. You had sent me some links as
Yeah.
examples as to what we could do. And we could make people aware that the links are there. The two things that I would want to stress is, one, as you said, we're not recommending one provider over
Right.
another. It's simply raising the level of awareness, and B, our staff is not positioned to help people in any way fill out fill out the applications or anything like that. So it's there strictly as informational, but we have no staff support to assist people.
Right. We're not endorsing anything. We're just providing some information to allow people to make their own decisions. I, for one, have done that. So it's actually a fairly straightforward process, but I think we'll find a place to put it on the website, and we'll try to publicize that to give people a variety of links to allow them to there's a state-sponsored website and the like. So they can take a look and they can make their own stuff, but we should make sure that there's plenty of disclosures that we're not endorsing any of this, but just giving people the information to allow them to find that. So Bob, any questions or comments?
no, I think it's a good idea. More information is better.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll give you an update at the next meeting.
Okay, so you don't need any vote for us, you just.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. And can I ask who Kelsey Griggs was, who made some comment. I have no idea who Kelsey Griggs is, but there was some, but anyway, we'll move forward. Next up is the acceptance of a $2,500 gift to the Conservation Commission for land maintenance at Bower Springs. Any questions, or you just want to move to approve?
No,
it?
I read the write-up that was provided. I'm comfortable with it.
Okay,
So I move to accept the gift of $2,500 from the Bolton Conservation Trust for maintenance purposes at Bower Springs.
I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye,
Roll call, Sikansky,
aye,
Waisaki.
Aye.
And Stan, I believe that Kelsey Griggs writes for the Bolton and Stowe Independent, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to chime in here. I did not send that. That is not me typing that right now.
Yes, you did.
Wow.
Yes, you
okay.
did. Yes,
All right.
you did. Yes, you did.
So why don't we just move on and ignore this for the moment? Okay, Kelsey,
Yes, thank you.
you're very welcome. Okay. Next up is the review of the annual report of the Select Board.
Mr. Waisaki, I have reviewed in exhaustive detail the annual report of the Select Board, and I find it wholly satisfactory. So I would move to accept the annual report as presented.
Well, it sounds like a granola commercial where you're just like it's just so wholesome and wonderful, and you love every bite of it.
Oh, believe me, I looked through this thing for something to chip at and complain about, but there just wasn't anything there. Good
Well,
job.
then I've done my job.
That's right. It must be, was it you or was it one of those chat GPT things that?
Oh no, Chat GPT. That was it.
There we go.
I
That
just fed it a
explains
bunch
it.
of stuff, and out it popped. It's a
That
wonderful
explains
tool.
it.
All right, well then I'll take a motion to approve the annual report for the selectmen.
So moved.
Second that, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next up is to approve. I'm just so flustered with all the. I'm overwhelmed with.
Don't let it go to your head, Stan. It's not going to last.
No, I know it's not going to last. We're about done in about 2 seconds. To approve the bills and the payroll warrants, W23-16 and W23-16A.
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Roll call, Sikansky,
Aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up is to approve any minutes, and I believe we have regular session minutes for January 12th with some changes and January 26th with no changes. You want to pop up the one for the 12th?
Yes, hang on one sec.
Great, thanks.
I learned a new skill too. I guess I can delete chat messages. Didn't know I could do that till just this moment.
Add it to your LinkedIn profile.
There we go.
Okay. All right,
Changes are in red.
okay,
They're pretty minor. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Do I
looks
have a
fine.
motion to approve.
All right, so I move to approve the minutes of January 12th, regular session, and what else was it?
26th,
And the
January.
minutes from the January 26th meeting.
Great, I'll second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye,
Aye,
Roll call Sikansky,
aye.
Waisaki.
aye. Okay. So we are done with that. I thought there's no more select board business. Next up is having an executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the Teamsters Union, Local 170. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation position of the Board of Selectmen, and the chair so declares. And do we have any executive session minutes to approve? We do?
We do.
We do. We do. And the board will return to open session for the purposes of adjournment only. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move we enter executive session.
I will second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye,
Roll call Sikansky,
aye.
Waisaki.
Aye.
Thank you.
For everyone in playing the at-home